hello everyone, and welcome to the next session of Fractures of Reality. In the last episode, we found out quite a lot. We found out Corax's father had been executed for treason. We found out some curious information about Elnath. Wait, Elnath, yeah. I couldn't remember which one was which for a moment. Alright. And we also had a small little cameo of a certain fox. Well, I forgot to get your token done. I'm sorry, Cicada, I'll do that right now. But regardless, you all rested well and you were brought some breakfast and allowed to wake up as you see fit. Mm-hmm. Go for it. Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot to unmute your voices. My bad. Uh, but yeah, basically the Cicada and Jezebel are sharing a tent. That's all you guys missed. Okay, now you can go.
Okay.
Sybil just stretches a bit and she goes, almost miss eating breakfast from my master chef. I hope he's alright.
Haven't seen him in a while.
To be fair, he probably hasn't seen me in a bit either, because you were gone for a little while. Hope he doesn't assume I'm dead. I did make him make a promise if he thought I was dead. Oh goodness. He's hopefully Mom's not panicking.
Yeah, we should probably send them a message that we're doing okay now.
Well, I'm pretty sure my she gives a really like dark mischievous grin. She goes, I'm pretty sure he'll let her know I'm fine.
Okay.
He gets what he deserves.
It's gosh, I haven't slept in a tent in so long.
At least like normal, without the fear of getting eaten or killed by
I know
monstrous flesh things.
yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to again.
How long were you guys in there anyway?
It felt like months.
Indeed, we kind of lost track of time, so busy thinking about where to go next. We managed to survive long enough to get used to the area, which is definitely long enough.
Okay.
Until Cricket found us. But I guess we can just move on to somebody else now.
Laura, we can hear you adjusting your mic.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
Well, what do you guys want to do?
Well, Korax has been up since dawn, and she's just standing by the
Cla-
river, kind of
Sorry.
glaring at the sky.
Sorry, Clara, can you please mute? We can still hear you adjusting something. Thank you so much. Continue.
As I said, Korax has been up since dawn, actually, and she's standing by the river, kind of just seems to be just glaring at the sky.
Okay.
Something the matter?
Well, I think you know the thing that's the matter.
Yeah, but it's easier to say it. At least.
Well, okay, so before I say anything, like, as you like walk up to stand next to her, you notice she's added a long white cloak to her ensemble. There's you say my father was alive 2 days ago. Did they execute him without trial?
If they did, I didn't heard of any high hero of a trial.
Well, they would have had to. A trial for something this big would have lasted months.
Probably a big influencer just outright overruled your trials.
Okay, if Clara slips into the conversation.
By all means.
So, I don't remember exactly the state he was in 2 days ago. He was in bed, and I don't know much else about that. If there was a debacle going around, who knows? If he was under trial, where would he be in his house still?
And he might have been under house arrest, but well.
Well, if he was under house arrest, I don't know if he would have been able to get the data we wanted anyway. Would he?
Probably not. He doesn't. He doesn't keep business stuff in our house.
It's possible? I was thinking we could probably go check, but you're probably not welcome.
And I don't much care if I'm not welcome in the capital at the moment. And I am, as they say, tired of being nice and would like to go apeshit.
Okay. Is that where monkeys throw poo?
Or
Another tally on the Chlora not understanding metaphors list.
oh, you don't have a plan yet, as far as I know, anyway.
I wonder if they'll send people after us.
Yeah.
Well, after
Good
me, I
question.
should say.
Good question.
So now that I think about it,
Thanks.
now that I think about it, it might be more important to go find the rest of your family first.
That is my that is step one. Yes. Step two will be putting will be payback.
Very well then, let's get going.
So you guys are heading out?
We still have to wait for Ryu.
Okay. Ryu?
Are we still in the village?
You are?
Yes.
Then Ryu would have spent the night at his house.
Alright. It's morning.
He'll have woken up about around the same time as the rest of the party.
Alright. Then you would have had breakfast with them and be there. What would you like to do?
Well, the whole staying at the house thing was as part of the whole staying at the house thing was him catching up with his mom.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you had breakfast with her. And then she sent you to... And then she said you can go talk to your friends now. And she'll be here when you guys decide what you want to do.
Oh. Right.
Because you gotta know what she asked you what you're gonna do. So you gotta go see yeah. Base-
Something. Yes?
So yeah.
So something so a friend of mine just received some terrible news yesterday, and he's going, and she wants to go look into it. I plan to go with them.
Alright. Well, come back soon, alright?
Right. I hope everything is okay when I get back.
She gives you a hug and a kiss and just smiles and says, "Don't worry so much. I'll keep everyone safe."
I know you will. As you know, I've been having to look after my grandfather for so long.
She nods.
All right. I should keep the others waiting.
Alright.
Sayonara, mother.
Sayonara.
He heads up to the rest of the group, and his first question is, "How's Korax?"
And 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 I'm past the shock and gotten into the anger phase.
He wants to become a monkey that throws poo?
That's just a metaphor, or Clara.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Roll 20's being stupid.
no.
Not sure I can control anything at the moment. Oh. Wait, there it goes.
You good? Okay.
I think. Try to refresh.
Alright.
It's taking its time.
Well, while
Alright,
that's
so-
happening, what do you guys want to do?
I imagine Sakia is finally up. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
real quickly before we leave, Jezebel's going to go find Ruru real quickly, tell her what's going on, while the others are talking.
Oh, there's no good L's again. I swear, I'm just gonna punch them one of these days.
alright.
I imagine that's probably her reaction.
Also, more so, Ruru would just be like, with a slight pout, she'd be like, "My savior was never this bad. He was a big dork, yes. Crazy for a jack of chocolates, yes. A little secretive at times, yes. But at least he didn't cause so much problems with his nobility or this and that. And Jezebel's just watching Rira ranting with a big old smile on her face, like she's so cute. And then Rira just kind of sighs and then walks out with Jezebel. Looks at her. She goes, "So, I guess you all are leaving now."
That is the plan, yeah.
Well, Rira gives a soft smile over to Ryu. She goes, "Try not to worry so much about your grandfather. I'll make sure to keep an eye on him, and technically, your village here is probably the safest place for him too. So, just maybe send him a little message, let him know that if he is, once he's ready, he should probably just return here."
I appreciate it. I don't, I don't, I don't know if you'll get mad at man for me saying this, but I did actually, I actually used sending to ask him to just at least let me know he's okay periodically.
Well, just give him time, dear. I mean, sometimes it's usually best. Sometimes the still dragons don't awaken, but when they do need their time to kind of sort their thoughts out.
I know. I'm just being protective.
Of course, you have your right to be, and I'm also wish to protect him as well. So I know we just sort of met, and I told you a lot of things that perhaps have both baffled and confused you, but you can trust me. And Jezebel goes, "Yeah, Foxy, you can trust Lady Rura."
Don't worry. I can see why. I can see why you hold her in such high regard.
Jezebel gives a shrug with a smirk. She goes, "Well, she did give me a better purpose besides the one my father had. I wanted to walk my own path, and the path ended up being helping Lady Rura. So I took it, both me and my brother. Now just me."
I see.
Which reminds me, Jezebel says with a frown as she crosses her arms over her chest, "After we help dear Corax's situation, I still want to return back to the Drow City and find my brother again. If he's still there."
Still okay.
He better be, that way I could kick his ass.
What are you gonna do if he isn't? Are you still going to kick his rear?
I'll find him and kick his ass. Like I did before. Except this time he's not going to get one punch to the gut, he's going to get a full beating.
It's nice to know that you treat your siblings so well.
Isabel just gives a smirk and she goes, "You haven't been in a big family, have you?"
Has Clara been in a big family?
Not really. You were raised by the adventurers mostly. Like, occasionally adventurers would come in and tell you stories, so you kinda had a big family, but it was kind of a family that left after a few days.
Okay. Clara says, well, not really?
Family tends to disagree quite often, dear Clara. And when that happens, little scuffles tend to happen now and then. A little hitting, a little punching, not intent to kill, of course, but still intent to beat the message into the other. That make sense?
Is that what siblings do? Is beat each other into a pulp?
Yes. And Rura just sighs, shaking her head at Jezebel.
Corax.
Yes.
Why are you wearing the white?
And I feel like we've been over this.
Yeah. I didn't know how serious you were, though.
Well,
Do you plan to burn everything down? Including values and morals?
and we'll see if we'll see if there are, and it remains to be seen whether there are values and morals to be had with my targets.
I walked down a similar path once. It's not a fun path to walk down.
Well, I don't. Well, and well, if you're asking whether I intend to tear down the entire society, the answer is no. Just and I'm just after the ones who I'm just here for the ones who threw my father to the wolves.
Very well.
How obvious is Korax's mutations at the moment?
Her mutations, her eyes are glowing just a little bit, but that's it.
Korax, will your glowing eyes cause any issues?
I guess we'll find out.
Jezebel had watched both Charlotte and Quark's talk for a bit with a bit of a silent look, and then Rura goes over, pats her. She goes, "Will you all be all right?" Jezebel just shrugs as she goes, "Yeah, we've come this far together. Might as well keep going."
Yeah, we've already been through a lot. I think we'll be fine.
Rura still is concerned, but she offers a small smile. She goes, "Very well then. I will be staying here in the village for some time. I'll also be waiting for your grandfather to make sure he gets here safely or if he needs any help. If you just remind him that I am here, not only that, but he's not alone." Rura says with a shrug as she motions around. "There's actually quite a few other steel dragons here as well that are hiding and living in plain sight. So if he needs any I guess, well, what's the word? Reassurance? There are some that are actually here."
Well, it's good to know he has help. He has people who can help him through all this.
"He's not alone," Rura says with a smile. "It's what I try to remind all steel dragons that awaken.
Yeah.
And not only that, but even if he does have an issue, I am here as well as others like him. So just give him a soft reminder. I'm pretty sure hearing it from you would also help him quite a bit too."
Yeah.
"Also, stay safe. I see Jezebel is very fond of you all. It's not very often she has friends." And Jezebel actually looks a little bit flustered by this as she looks to the side.
Clara hugs Jezebel. She's like, "Yes."
I did tell you about the part where I did tell you about the part where she was stalking me, right?
Rura giggles. She goes, "Yes, indeed. Though usually that's a front. Isn't that right, Jezebel?" And then Jezebel looks flustered again in the hug. And she just throws her head back.
This is the first time I've seen Jezebel so embarrassed.
Rura kind of smiles. She goes, "She's been raised by quite a lot of us. Myself, every often Vierna pops in, and of course her father too is a good friend of mine. So we've seen a lot of her and her siblings grow. They've also taken very good care of me, so I've been living with them, so I know all their little quirks and interests now and then."
You see a kitsune emerge from inside the house with a book and say, I got the family album you asked for, Rura."
Rura immediately perks up like, "Oh, I'm so glad you found it." Jezebel goes, "Found me what?"
Ooh.
Ooh, do we get to see pictures of when you were a baby?
The
I wanna see.
the fox opens it to a picture of baby Jezebel being very grumpy at not being able to get some candy from a store.
Ah.
Rua just smiles happily and innocently, not really knowing the torment that Jezebel's going through as she goes, it's like every time I'm reborn, I always try to take a picture of Alex and Pierre's new children. Even I sometimes get in the pictures with them. If she flips a page and it's a slightly older Jezebel as a toddler with a toddler-looking Rura. I mean, you can't tell it's her but she looks way more younger. And they're standing side by side together, and Jezebel's hugging Rura like a stuffed animal closely.
Oh my god.
And then
And Rura just giggles. She was fond of me even when she was little.
you see the kitsune casually turn the page to a picture of Jezebel in a bird outfit.
My god. That makes a
Ooh.
lot of sense.
Isabel
Why she
looks horrified again as she just goes, "Larry, please."
that makes sense now why Jezebel suddenly grew attached to Cicada to begin with.
Oh, and Rura just goes, "I'm sorry, Jezebel. It's just they're your friends, right? So it should be fine. Besides, I'm just happy you have friends. Ones that you actually do trust, right?" Riva gives her a natural, knowing glance at Jezebel, though horrified and embarrassed. Just groans, rubbing her forehead, and then she just goes, "If I say yes, will you put the book away?"
The kitsune
"Of course."
turns the page to a picture of baby Jezebel holding on to her father by the horns.
My god.
Holding on to a mother, sorry. Actually, no, they both have horns. Never mind.
Oh my god.
Can we go now? Jezebel says, thoroughly embarrassed.
But they look adorable.
Shut up.
Apparently, I'm not hugging you tight enough. Clara hugs a little bit tighter.
The kitsune begins to turn the page again.
I think we've seen enough.
Rura just pats the top of the Kitsune's head and goes for shift. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Besides, they have to get going or otherwise they're gonna be here all day. And she goes, I
Yeah.
have not only pictures of Jezebel, but all of her siblings. So pretty soon when I've heard, or just what you told me that you have a new sister coming, I'll definitely go get a picture when I can, when she's born. But for now, just all of you, remain safe. Like I said, don't worry about your grandfather. We'll be here for him when he's ready. Also, watch each other's backs. Riva says with a soft, a show of wisdom on her face. Coming from somebody who used to be a slave and didn't have anybody, I've learned the true value of having comrades. So please don't forget that.
Cicada does a mock salute in understanding.
Jezebel, just even though she's embarrassed, she just turns in the hug to Rura and goes, "Thank you, Lady Rura, for your wisdom and that embarrassment."
Clara, let's go of Jezebel.
Jezebel sighs and then just turns to Cora and just gives her a few pats on the head. And then turns and looks at Cora. She goes, "Well then, Corax, shall we go see where your family is?"
Yes, please.
So you
I
are all
guess
heading
as-
out?
Yeah, and I guess as they're all about to leave, Cicada turns back around to Rua and says, It was nice to meet you, Miss Rura.
You all as well, she says with a bright smile and a wave. But if you
She
ever
waves
need my
back.
help, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
And right before they leave, Jezebel stops, pauses, runs over, gives Rura a hug, a tight one, while Rura hugs her back, and then starts to walk away with a wave.
Okay.
Alright. Then with that, you all hop back onto Cricket's home. And I mean, you still have to wander through the forest for a day, but you do eventually make it out and begin your journey. You are Kirish.
All the way to
At
the
one point
south.
during all this, at one point during all this, Korax just blinks suddenly and is like, "What? Tell her and think about how you feel. And then be honest with them. Never thought I'd be having this conversation with you. Glad you're safe."
Huh?
She just says that out loud, seemingly out of nowhere.
Korax, what are you doing?
I just had a conversation I never imagined I would have with my sister.
Huh?
Rudy?
Your sister.
Yes.
Oh, the elusive
What?
sister. I thought you were looking for her originally.
I was, and as then we found out she was safe, then we got very sidetracked, yes. Apparently she's having girl problems now. I could have sworn she was asexual.
I suppose she knows. I suppose you told her about her father.
And it was ascending, and I don't even know how to begin to talk to her about that. I don't even know if she knows.
How do you think she'd react?
She'd probably just open a book.
It seems like you. It sounds like she doesn't. It sounds like she doesn't really care for anyone in her family when you put it like that.
Well, when it sounds like that, sure, but well, just burying herself in a book is how she copes with just about everything in her life.
I see. Ryu appears to be in thought and goes, I wonder if Kagura knows what happened and is doing anything about it.
Jezebel. Sorry? Jezebel hums. Go ahead.
Didn't your father and Kagura know each other, Korax?
They met at some point. I don't know how well they knew each other.
Well enough for you to have met him.
Only the one, and yes, the once. That was over 100 years ago now. Well, like no, that was and then not over 100 years ago. Rewind, almost 90 years ago now.
That's a long time.
We're elves.
In that case, he's had to have talked to your father, or at least several more times after that.
Oh. Maybe, but again, I only met him that one time, and we didn't exactly have a big conversation.
I see. Well, if the stories people tell about him or anything to go by, he at least won't be happy to hear they executed your father without any due process.
It all
Question
depends
is-
on how close they actually were, though, dear Foxy.
I'm just speaking based on what I've heard.
But remember, he's saying they only met. He isn't actually sure if they actually are friends.
Well, we'll have to see. I guess we can ask Korax's mother and find out.
Maybe.
Let me find them though.
Tell me, so DM, would I have any way of knowing where exactly my family got exiled to?
It wasn't in the newspaper, but you do have someone with sending.
I've never met any of Korax's family members. I was only ever listened to sending to his sister because he showed.
Let me do this for you, because I think you need to reread sending.
With which you are familiar.
For example, if they were described to you in enough detail, you could be considered familiar with them. You'd still have to make a roll, of course, but it is still possible.
Roll of cool. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure you did that with the his sister anyway.
Yeah, he did.
Suppose.
You also
Yeah.
found a picture of her, I believe. I think.
Alright, well, may as well give it a go. And Korax holds out her hand, and a picture of a young elven, woman appears. Like, it is just over it. This is Arari, my oldest sister, the second child besides me. She's
1 second. Push.
and she like and she and Korax sort of and Korax sort of like it tells you all about her a bit. Like she's kind of a party girl. Causes scandals. Like always like to cause scandals in the court for the fun of it. And yeah, like yeah, like I scroll down to get the general gist.
Sounds like quite the talker. I can see why I see why you would suggest her for me to send the message to.
My mother, I don't know, and my mother. Well, I would spare you the I would spare you any conversation with my brother. And my mother, I don't know if she wants to see me, but I need to see her.
Well, good, because I don't. If from what I've heard based on what I've heard from you about him, I don't think I would get along well with your brother, assuming he doesn't try to kill me.
No one gets along with him. On the playground, they would pretend to tolerate him because he had all the best toys.
I think Jezebel knows him very well.
But she
Already.
doesn't know sending.
Yeah.
All right, so
To
a-
be,
a ro-
to be fair, Jezebel says with a bit of a shrug, his name wasn't really well known, only for the fact that he was not the best hunter, even if he claimed to be.
Sure.
I'll even. Well, if he, oh, I would suppose. I suppose any group would notice notice the boaster in the group.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Well, if he boasts as much as Korax
I
says he, if he boasts as much as Korax says he does, then I'm sure every hunter is bound to know him to some extent.
Thank you. I just wanted to double check that because I thought you said bone.
No. No.
So, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
All right. So I'm sending to Arari, right?
Well, Kemp, you have 27 words. You may say what you're saying.
Was that 25?
It's 27, I believe. I thought it was 24, and someone else said it was 25, and then we checked and it was 27. I think.
You may
It
want to
says
check
25.
again.
It says 25 in the description.
Ah, then it's
Yeah,
25.
it says
Sorry.
25.
My bad. My bad. 25 words then.
Okay. He puts his hand up to his ear and focuses. Arari Elisei? I'm Ryu Lenethwa, a friend of Korax's. He's looking for you.
Alright. There's... Just roll me, Your spell is wisdom, right?
Yeah.
My DC checks?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, so roll me
15.
just a straight wisdom then.
Where is it? There you are.
Okay. It takes you a little bit, but you do get a response. And you hear a rather chill voice say, "Oh, Korax, you say? We're actually just outside the city. Our mother has been... Well, hold on. Right, sending. Korax, you
Word.
say? We're outside the city in a tent trying to get his body so we can resurrect."
Okay, Ryu takes his hand off his ear and says, as she said your mother is camped out just outside the city, demanding your father's body.
And then that is where we shall go.
She didn't specify. she didn't specify she didn't specify a direction in. But if you
We have a flying house.
yeah, but it's what chances are there of seeing a tent from up in the air?
True.
Hello, Jezebel says with a shrug, and she points to herself. You are dealing with a hunter here. Remember, I can help track them down. We at least know the general area. Won't be very hard to find them.
Anyway, wait, just so we have something to go on. Korax, if somebody were exiled, from which entrance would they be cast out from? From which would they be cast out?
Oh, the main entrance. They'd make a public spectacle of it.
So the front.
Yeah.
That makes things easy. Cricket.
We'll just start there then.
Cricket. Take us to the front take us to the front of the High Elven City.
He shrugs and then says, okay. He then turns towards the Owlcat's head and says, take us to the Elven City. Front entrance.
Can we fly again?
So yeah. What do you guys do while you're traveling?
Ryu is finally going to take this opportunity. Korax, I know this is unrelated, but I do have one question.
Hmm?
I was wondering where you got the name Galatine from.
And the sword told me its name.
The Moonblade called itself Galatine?
Yes.
Because I was told Galatine was the last name of someone, and the elves held in very low regard.
Lala, do I have any idea what he's talking about?
You may roll history.
Oh, you have no
Of
idea what he's
course.
talking about.
No
Of
idea.
course.
You normally just ask Rudy for that sort of thing, so...
Yeah. And I've never heard of them, which means the name itself has probably been blacklisted.
Can I roll history because I know about elven cultures a little bit?
Yeah, for it. But that's it. No more history checks.
I know. I don't normally ask once I feel like it makes
I know
sense.
you're fine. I just wanted to make that clear in case anyone else wanted to try.
Like, it's the two who grew up in Elven society, basically.
And
I know,
hang on,
I know.
before that roll is final, I will flash a genius to make it a 17.
Alright. So, Galatine was an elven family that used to be a very great renown as legendary defenders of the Elven City, and actually fought against the very first calamity. Not the big calamity that followers dealt with, but the very first calamity that came with the elves when they arrived. However, as the years went on, they began to future generations began to use the title not for any. They used it just for prestige and to get things for free, and eventually they ran out of all their goodwill to the point that they had to basically hawk most of their legendary items and artifacts and sell them off to maintain their noble elven image and their lifestyle, and eventually they just went broke. And so they threw their kids out to the street and fled. Well, they threw their kids out to the street and tried to rob a bank, failed, and then went to prison.
Oh. Ugh.
Draws Galatine and looks at it reflectively. And you probably disowned them by then, didn't you?
Well, it's not that I disowned them. I've always been a fan of underdogs. Sadly, they weren't really underdogs so much as... well, I'm sure you know.
I have some idea.
Any other questions for the sword?
None.
Alright, then that's all she says.
That would.
Do you tell this
That
to the
would
rest of the party? Correct?
Well, they say they like underdogs, so we've got that going for us.
All that would explain why. All that would explain why the other elves treat him so horribly.
Actually, no. That they treated him horribly because he was doing community service. As a reminder, he never told anyone his name.
Ah. Okay.
Anyway.
I see. That I guess powerful magic swords have very interesting taste in wielders.
Who knows? Maybe maybe Dark Crusher can talk, and we just haven't figured out how to make it speak yet.
I mean, it does speak to a sense. It's just more... well... as long as you're using me, I'm happy. That's basically all it's saying. Most swords with a small bit of magic imbued in them do have some level of sentience, but it's not enough to allow them to talk.
Sure.
The way you make sentient weapons is a little more...
involved.
yes, let's just go with that. Involved.
Huh. So is there anything else to add to the conversation, or are we reaching the city?
Does anyone else have anything they want to do?
Okay, I want to do something.
Go for it.
Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna look at this rock that Scree gave me as a gift and use Detect Magic just to make sure if it's magic or not.
It is not. It is a rock.
It is just a rock. Okay,
Yes.
so it's not enchanted.
He probably
then
just
I'm
picked it
going-
up.
Okay. And then I'm gonna practice ritual casting Speak with Animals.
Alrighty. Anything else?
I'm just gonna try and talk with Crikey again.
He is quite happy to talk to you. Oh, hi! Hey, hey! It's nice to see you can speak to me. That's great.
Yes,
That's
yes.
great news.
Yay!
He is still shouting at you.
You don't need to shout so much. I can hear you just fine.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay. You can just talk normally.
All right. Say, can I have an apple?
Sure.
I love you so much. Oh no.
Oh, I love you too.
Clara is looking at this and she's like, is the cricket trying to eat the apple that's bigger than it?
Yes.
It's just a slice of an apple.
Oh.
Okay.
In that case, yes. Still. Anything else?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Anyone else got something they want to do?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Then, with a leap and a landing, your floating island lands near the entrance to the Elf City, the main one, and it's almost embarrassingly easy to find the 3 tents parked just outside. There's a few smaller tents, but there's only 3 main big tents. Like, there's a couple of servants and other folk around, but for the most part, there's only 3 tents that could be called fancy.
Did the entire household get banished? Along with the servants?
I mean, servants are still in our family's employ, so
Wouldn't they just be like, move on to another household, or?
Yes, you're here, Neku. You're muted though if you're trying to talk.
No, I was commenting on that because the screen's entirely black for me.
Oh,
Oh.
I see. Oh, hold on. I think I know what the issue is. Probably still there. There we go. Now you should be able to see.
Okay.
Yeah. You were there. It's just I guess I haven't set your token up to have dark vision yet. I'll fix that up next session. But yeah, you can see the servants mulling about. Some of them are, cleaning clothes and all that. And you can see 3 figures just quietly talking by a fire.
Korax approaches.
They look to you, and they move to rise, but as I'm sure you're aware, Adajon is the first to speak.
Oh, you're back! Oh, it's been horrible. Oh, no one's letting me into the city. Can you... can you believe they do this to me? Me!
Oh my god.
And Korax is quiet, Ajian. Mother. Korax tentatively he approaches her.
I see you found out about the news.
I did.
We've been petitioning the city to allow us to collect his corpse once they finished with their example. I have been sneaking into the city and making daily visits to ensure that it doesn't get moved. But whenever
Did he even have a trial, or did they just line him up against the wall and get him over with?
Oh, the trial was about 2 weeks ago.
And
So does that mean that he was?
Was it an actual trial, or was it all a big show?
I don't know. From what he said, they gave him a defense. From what he said, they used a public defender instead of the assigned one that the family normally uses.
How long did the trial last?
Just a day.
Show trial.
Could you repeat that?
A show trial, then.
She nods. I believe so.
This may seem like a strange question to ask, but who was his defender?
I think it was someone named Beat.
So you got the same one we did.
I do know some details. But what's really concerning to me is the fact that despite having a clear stake and very legal reasons to request the body once they're finished with their example, I keep getting denied.
Maybe do they suspect any ill intent with the body?
I mean, they surely know we're going to pay to ensure that he gets resurrected, but even so, they can't. It's illegal for them to deny the body like this. I mean, it's not illegal for them to deny it. Like, they're using very complicated terms. Like, essentially, it's caught in legal red tape, is what she's saying.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's probably the same. The same. And probably the same people who threw Father into the wolves.
You also notice that both of your siblings and your mother are wearing a white cloak.
Oh, noble minds think alike.
She looks down and then says, if we can just get his body out of the city, then we can escort it up to Appalachia where the clergy is for... They're a neutral party, and it would be a good place for us to purchase the resurrection.
That would be helpful.
Would it require?
I know. Father was guilty of some of what he was charged with. This much I know. But a lot of these official charges are just bullshit.
What were you going to say, Andy?
Does it require anything specific to perform a resurrection?
Yes. Well, for one, it requires someone who can cast it. And for another, it requires a jewel.
A high quality diamond.
Very expensive.
No. It's a more powerful spell than you are capable of, Ryu. Let me put it that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, I think. Wait, is Raised Dead a 6th level spell?
Raised Dead is something different. It's a necromancy.
Oh.
Raised Dead is a 5th level spell, but they're referring to Resurrection.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Resurrection is the really expensive one.
Still, you guys, watch as she brings her hands together in front of her and says, well, regardless of their denial, they can't deny me forever, and they are eventually going to have to release it. And they know that.
Which means... And that... Of course... And...
Which means this isn't
But they
about
won't-
preventing me from getting the body,
It's about doing something with it first.
or delaying us from getting the information.
Would there be a reason to why they don't want you to resurrect him? Specifically.
Maybe he knows something.
And
I'd imagine
Charlotte,
he knows many things.
Charlotte, you said other words were involved. Remind me, did you have any names?
I just heard rumors. I didn't get any names yet. I was too busy doing something else important to me.
Well,
Before you all go off to make your plans, I do have some suggestions. She motions towards your siblings and then speaks. Now, while I'm handling on getting access to your father's body, you still see her briefly pause at that, as if, even though she knows he will be back, it's still a fairly heavy subject.
yeah, I'm gonna hug her.
She hugs you back and gives a smile. You have a good heart. Someone say too
Hey.
good. But that's why you're my son.
Daughter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Congratulations.
How's that not all obvious? This is old news, Mother.
That was more my fault there, but
Yeah. Okay, rewind. She said daughter.
yeah. She then will let you go and motion once more to Adrian and say, Adrian is going to speak with the more excitable nobles in the areas and zones, and start working on getting his way back into their good graces.
No. Oh no.
She then
And
motions.
and what's the productive part of this plan? Looks at Arari.
Arari just gives a slight breath in and then says, well, for one thing, I'm sober, which is kind of annoying. For another thing, I've called in a couple of favors with my good friends up in the clouds.
Cloud Prince?
Her
It's a
study
kid.
narrows her eyes a bit.
Kid just looks up at the clouds, probably seeing nothing but curious.
So, while I am also gathering forces, I'm also going to be quietly suggesting to others in the court that perhaps it might be time for a little coup.
What?
That's further that's a bit further than I'd like to go, but I understand it's not entirely up to me.
I mean, they're already halfway to the coup already, so we might as well use it to our advantage. Because, I mean, if they're getting rid of the one person that was still loyal to the Emperor, not Emperor, the Lord, that's
Yep.
the word, to the Lord, well, then we might as well prepare to use their plan for us. And she glances to Adijon and then says, that's why he is going to be heading out to get his hunting buddies.
Clara face was just like, oh no, not them.
Witch hunting buddies.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think I pay attention to my brother?
Oh dear.
Looks over to Adjian.
Hey,
Could you
Adjian
clarify?
is not as unsubtly eyeing Ryu.
Oh god, no. Not
You
again.
see, the Velith speak up and then say, no, Adrian, we've been over this. You don't try to shoot our guests.
And he's an endangered species. So
And-
don't.
Don't say that. That'll only encourage him.
Clara
Eh,
gives him a
okay.
nasty look.
Oh my god.
Guys, Corax.
Corax narrows her eyes, and Adjian looks down to and notices is the tip of a moonblade just under his chin. Don't.
You see, your mother and sister both widen their eyes in shock and then say, my, you really are your father's son, or daughter, sorry.
Did my intimidation do anything?
It's Adijan. You can't intimidate stupid.
What the hell is going on? I'm gonna have to refresh Roll20. My character sheet's doing stupid shit.
Regardless, we're role-playing at the moment, so we can continue that. She then says,
Give me prompts too.
with that blade, this next information... No, I think you're ready, because I still have more information for you. Though please try not to kill your brother.
And very well. I make no such promises regarding his hunting buddies if they are who I think they are.
That's fine.
Same.
Though perhaps wait until after we've used them for our needs.
Hey, tell me, are we supporting the coup, or are we going to heroically stop it?
That will depend on what you find out. Because I have more information. Now, your father has always kept most of the information secret. But as his wife, I do get small bits of information when the stress gets to him. Like, for example, when his plucky son-turned-daughter decided to try and unravel all of his plans to weed out the corrupted elements of the government. No, that was your fault, of course, dear. I understand. It was just rather refreshing to hear him being so honest for once.
Cora is watching Ajin, silently waiting for a moment to use her guitar on his face.
Please no.
Well, we'll leave that for after we're done with the serious conversation.
Okay.
Corax, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I hear.
Do you want?
He's
do you
probably
have-
having he's probably having issues with roll 20.
I get that.
like my character sheet is just going nuts right now.
I get that, but
Hmm.
you don't need your character sheet to roleplay.
No, but it's aggravating me.
Okay, we'll just wait while you fix that then.
No, oh no, I'm sorry. What did you say? What was the thing?
So you weren't listening. Blah blah blah. Your father was trying to root out and remove the elements in the government that were corrupted.
Oh yeah, that.
They rebelled, didn't they?
You don't. You know, and I wonder. We're going to need a body. One that is roughly his height and build.
You're not planning what I think you're planning.
I am planning exactly what you think I'm planning.
Well, there's still one more bit of information I have. This is just based on a last little bit that I overheard while he was gathering information to help you all out of that little portal situation.
And I wonder. And does it seem like she's noticed the glowing eyes?
Not really. She just figured it's probably like a war scar or something.
I mean, she's not far wrong.
Tell me, do any of you know anything about vampires?
From stories.
That is not where I was expecting this conversation to go.
There is a small group of them that do reside in the city. I don't know a lot of information because he only mentioned them briefly. No, cat, get out of the way. That is not a toy. That is not a thing to rub against. That is a microphone. He mentioned that there is a small group in the city. I thought it strange at the time until he mentioned them and the portal that he was trying to gain access to in the Underdark.
Who was trying to get access to the Underdark?
He was. Apparently he wanted to send an army to it in an instant.
Who is he exactly?
Baron. Sorry, I forgot his name for a moment.
Baron? Do we know a Baron?
Corax's father.
Oh.
Yeah. So your father was trying to stop the invasion from the Underdark?
Sorry. The cat just wouldn't leave me alone. So
What
yeah.
happens?
TLDR, there's a group of vampires in the city, and Farron was mumbling something about portals and sending an army to the portal in the Underdark. It's alright, Jezebel. Good night.
Real quickly though, before I leave, after all this information, Jezebel is going to lean down to Charlotte and she goes, I'm going to get some information to see what connects or not. And she's going to head into the city to go find the Thieves Guild.
Alright, then we'll get to that first thing next session. Take care.
Yes. So she just whispers down to Charlotte real quickly and then just not sneakily, but just slightly saunters off as everybody's talking.
Alright,
Alright, and then I gotta go. Bye guys.
bye.
Goodbye.
Right.
Right.
Continuing on, Corax.
And what? No.
Vampires.
Oh.
Vampires in a city. Your father was saying something about portals and sending an army to the Underdark.
All news to me.
That's why I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just asking. She was like asking my opinion on it or something.
No, she's giving you information.
Right. I'm sorry.
Did this
I'm sorry.
happen?
Okay, my character sheet is finally behaving. Well, that is not at all where I thought this conversation was going.
Did this
But
happen
yeah.
after we requested information about how to get them back? This is Clara asking.
Yes, he was. Like, we were dealing with the aftermath of the trial, and then he came into there saying that. Well, you'd all entered into a portal in the Underdark, and he was complaining that it was too soon, and now they'd have to move their plans ahead, and now the stupid army won't be ready in time to go through into the Underdark.
So, he was planning on going to war with the city of the Drow.
Well, that's
Yes.
bold move for him.
So did he know the portal before? And it was just us providing information that it was open?
I don't know. Again, this is just what I picked up from him complaining about, well, you all.
Indeed. Well,
So,
setting that aside, a vampire is in the capital.
yes. So what I'm going to, well, ask you all to do, I can't really force you, naturally. I'm going to ask you to help us with this, of course, but I want you to look into the vampires.
Clara had a thought. Are they going to try to turn his father into a vampire?
No, we're not going to turn him.
Flora.
Is this the company you keep, Corax?
No, Clara didn't say let's turn him into a vampire. She was like, oh, are they keeping him so they can turn him into a vampire?
Either way. No, they're not keeping. He's not being kept. He's being hung out in a public square on display for the entire city.
Ah, okay.
And I'm trying to get him down from there, but that is taking my full time and your sister and brother, his sister and brother, she just starts talking directly to you, are currently doing other things, and Korax being here means I can send someone reliable to check on the vampires because the previous group I sent out didn't come back.
That's actually okay. That last part's actually kind of worrying.
Oh dear.
Mother, switching topics. Another question.
Yes,
The newspaper said a surge of wild magic happened at our home. Do you know what's behind that?
she pauses and then says, I do. It came from the vault.
Eh?
What?
Then by the time me and your father got down, there was a red tiefling with a coffee cup and a t-shirt saying number 1 boss
Oh my god, it's
walking
Boss.
through a portal and leaving with the last of the paperwork.
Boss.
He
We-
works with the Witch Queen, Mother.
I knew it. I knew that bitch couldn't be trusted.
Oh my god.
Wait, you thought she could before?
No, but now I have even more reason to cuss her out, you know?
Oh my goodness.
It's like
You
she
knew.
clenches her fist and goes, "Ah, I hate that woman." You know?
Korax, did you knew that he was free?
I did not. No. If I had known he was free, I would have tried to hunt him down and make him not free. That man is a menace.
Yes.
Charlotte, is there any chance that Boss could have escaped his imprisonment?
I don't know the capabilities of Vierna, so that's hard to say.
Knowing Fiona, she might have
He-
just let him go so he could do his thing.
I doubt it. The reason I doubt it is because he has the ability to make portals.
Oh,
No, he
regardless, I'm guessing that's where they got their evidence to convict your father.
Did they steal all the paperwork?
They
Yes.
had to take all the evidence. It's the
They-
mafia. That's what they do.
My real
So they-
question is how they saw into the vault. Because they'd need to be able to see into it to be able to go into it, right?
Well,
not with
maybe that. Well, do you still have
Oh.
Mother, do you still have the key to the vault?
She shakes her head. They took it from me when they evicted us.
And
Clara put a couple things together. She's like, oh. You okay if I mention this in front of them?
mention what?
The other half of the portal?
Well, we're dealing with a vampire conspiracy now, so apparently anything goes.
Okay. Well, the first bar of information about how your other family is probably something you should share first. My thoughts are that he went to the same location in the other world and then portaled in.
Regardless of how he got in, she breathes in. The fact of the matter is we're running out of time. I don't know what their plan is, but they must have some sort of plan, because otherwise they wouldn't be delaying us here with his body.
And well, the delay is over. Over. By this time tomorrow, we will have. His body will be back in our possession.
She lets out a breath and then says, just make sure you don't kill someone who's somewhat upstanding.
Well, I can't speak. I can't speak for who the corpse is going to be. And then he's going to turn around and I can't do this bit with Jezebel because Ninja's not here.
You can see that she's gone, though.
I'm going to have to talk to Jezebel later.
Right. Then, now that you've talked to all of us and you've all met us... Hi, by the way, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad Korax finally has some friends. I always worry about him a little bit, because he's kind of a little bit of a shut-in a bit. Kind of like his sister, if I'm honest. I mean, you've always been the little diplomat and all that, of course, but you've never really gotten close to people, and, you know, I'm so happy for you. And she gives you a hug.
Oh.
I don't think... In his defense, I don't think we gave him much of a choice.
Oh, you got friends by hostage.
Oh my god, no.
No,
It's a joke.
more like...
It's a joke.
Oh, sorry.
It was Jezebel that brought us all together. Funnily enough.
Anyway.
Buy hostage.
Gorix?
Buy hostage.
Right. She will step back and then nod to Adajan and Ari, who will, you know, both nod and then head away. And she'll give a bow to Korax and then say, they're going to go and head back to their duties. We all gathered here, so we'd be here to greet you when you came.
We'll get him back, Mother.
She nods. Be careful in there, alright?
They'll never know. They'll never know I was there. And Korax, X is going. X is going to go invisible, and she's gonna go shoe shopping. Oh, actually, no, not invisible. Not invisible. Disguise herself as a random elf, and she's gonna go shoe shopping.
Okay.
Alright. Well, before you do that, does anyone else have anything they want to say?
The current shoes look fine. Why are you going to shoe shopping?
Oh my gosh, Laura.
Okay. Anyone
Questions
else?
like that are why. Laura, questions like that is why you're not coming with me.
Alrighty.
Can I come with? Actually, maybe that's not such a good idea because she looks at herself. She's very much a moth bird.
Alright. So, if that's that, then Silo. What would you like to do?
Charlotte lets out a breath. Charlotte lets out a breath and glances to whoever's remaining.
They haven't left yet, except for Jezebel.
And correct.
Whoever's remaining. The vampire was the last thing my friend mentioned in the diary. I want to defend. Even if she's dead or not, I want to see her.
Sounds like a good idea.
But the important bit is when I do, I want to be alone.
Okay.
I think I missed that last part. Charlotte wants to be alone when that happens? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. We can do that.
Okay. But as long as you come back after all of that.
I went through a lot more work. I've been through plenty of worse scenarios. I'm sure I'll be fine with this one too.
And don't come back undead. You got that?
Well, I just want to deal with them on my own. The rest of them vampires, you guys can take care of.
Eh.
Okay.
Anything else?
There was one thing, but I'll save that for later.
Alrighty. Anything else, Neku?
Except for me.
Alright. Then with that, I will call this session to a close. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.